Hello and welcome to Sobricks. I'm Adam and this is Sobricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. I'm going to be experimenting with putting together a very big set, and I don't know if I can do it all at my current setup here, and I might switch that up and use a different camera and do all sorts of different stuff, but I thought I would try to build some with this current setup a little bit and give it a try. So I have here a set I'm really excited for, the Medieval Blacksmith LEGO Ideas set. So this is LEGO Ideas number 33, and I'll just tilt the box a little bit here. Or I'll spin it around, and we can maybe see that this has this is set number 21325, and it has 2,164 pieces, and I paid $185 for this set. I believe this set is going to be retiring soon. I believe this set is going to do really well in retirement. If you are a Lego investor, I think this is maybe one of the bigger sets that people are flagging as being probably really good. So I'm not a Lego investor really, so I'm gonna build this, and I've heard it's an awesome build, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm gonna open this up and just get into it and see if I can't do it this way, do it with my other camera, my phone camera, and my DSLR, and we'll see how that goes. So for now, enjoy. Okay, so I'm going to take some time here while I build to sort of talk about this Medieval Blacksmith set and the build experience. I've been trying to figure out what to maybe include over my build videos when I speed them up. I have seen suggestions for perhaps music, and that's something that I'm considering. And I also thought maybe I would record voiceover. Most of the time when I speed up a video of a build, it is short enough that I haven't found it necessary to record any voiceover or anything to describe maybe what I'm building at that moment or how it's going. But for Patreon and for bigger builds like this, especially ones that I'm going to do in segments, I thought it might be a good kind of time to test this out, and a good way for me to sort of practice and also try to make this somewhat interesting. So we're just opening up the box and sorting all these bags here, and then we'll get right into it. So I'm very excited for this set. I think this set is going to be one that when it retires, it's going to be very popular. Many people are calling this kind of the new old fishing store, or whatever that set was, and I think that's probably pretty fair. This set, I think, was out of stock or out of production for some time, and I was able to grab it when I noticed it just back in stock, and now I believe it is out of stock again, and I don't know if it will be in production again. When I asked a Lego store employee about it, they told me they probably won't be getting any more in the stores. So I was very happy to have gotten this set, and so we have the first bag here. We can take a look at the instructions. Like many Ideas sets, it does have some notes about the designer and some pictures, which I think is quite good. And for this build, I am going to elect to use the digital instructions so they don't take up as much of my building space. One of the things that makes it especially difficult for me to record in my current setup with larger sets is that if I use the instruction booklet, it takes up way more space than I think is necessary, and I don't really like using the digital instructions, but in this case, it seemed to make sense. So we're just starting with the base plates, getting the base border. This was kind of interesting. Some of these colors I felt were kind of close for me as a colorblind person, but I think I was able to do it all correctly, except for maybe some of the leaf pieces. Those I might have mixed up at different points, and I may go back and correct some if I have. But for the most part, I liked it. We just put in that bigger kind of base plate there, which fit in very nicely, and adding some kind of details around it, adding the sort of, here's me changing those colors of those leaves. Hopefully they're correct now. The beginning of this build, I thought the footprint of this is relatively small. I think looks smaller than it is. I know it has a lot of verticality to it, but I thought the base would be bigger, especially because I'm comparing it with things like a modular building, and I thought that this would be maybe similar to the base plate size, and it's not. Getting into the second bag here, we have some continuation of building up the walls, building up some of the internal details with a barrel and a table and a crate or a chest in there, which is nice. There's another maybe a sharpening wheel or a whetstone or something there. Added the light brick, which is very, very cool and integrated very nicely in this set. So maybe one of the better uses of a light brick I've seen, especially given the thematic kind of stuff of this set. So I'm really, really pleased with that, and I'm going to be happy to show it. And I think they just integrated the mechanism to activate the light brick in a really, really smart way. So that's great. A lot of this bag is kind of adding that detail. There we just added that mechanism, which is that kind of air puffer thing that you use to feed oxygen into a fire, I believe, and when you push that in, it lights up the light brick, which is very, very cool. Over there, we're building up more of the wall. We built up some logs for storage, and have a few leftover pieces that I have to figure out where I missed one. Into the next bag, again, this is going to be pretty much building up the walls, but we get our first look at some windows here using the gold kind of window pane or window screen, window elements there, which is really, really nice. It does make this medieval blacksmithing house feel a little bougie, but there's a lot of that in here, and that's more than fine. I really liked the brown and how this was made, even if it's a little finicky. I do know that I stumbled on a couple instances there on that side of the wall when maybe putting in these windows, because they aren't all like so solidly connected to each other yet. Finishing out the top of the furnace there, building up more walls, building up the stairs, and it's starting to really take form, adding a couple more windows to the side, some arches for doorways, the top of some stairs. And now we're adding more internal details. We are hanging a shield on the wall and also hanging some pauldrons or shoulder armor on the wall as well, and that's very nice. I wasn't sure about the pauldron connection because they're just kind of loosely held in there. It's different than what it would be if it was on a minifigure. So you may see them move a little bit, and they are kind of loosely in there, but when it's sat down, it feels pretty okay. We added another window. We're adding, building up more of the wall, more of the staircase here, and that back area. And into bag 5, or 4 rather, this is where I had some difficulty over there with how finicky those bits were, but I liked the kind of parts of the brown wood there that is coming off and overhanging kind of the garden area. It feels really, really nice, and I'm really excited to see how this all blends into the final build and is kind of the base for the final build here. So now we're tiling out the top with just a few exposed studs so it can be taken apart, sort of like a modular building where it's strong enough to hold everything, but it can be also popped off easily to have access to the inside for play and for display. We built a little brick-built door, which I really liked with those wooden door prints, and I'm surprised at how well it works. Adding some details around the side of the base of this thing. This was really interesting because some of those tiles you stud on but kind of overhang them, so they're not studded on in a way that I feel like is super common. So it was a little bit tricky to get those all done, but the overall effect at the end is really, really nice, and I can't wait to show that off to more people. Added an anvil outside, an anvil inside, add a couple tools into the interior here, and now we're pretty built out for this whole bottom portion. The last thing is to build this well and to build the tree. This is a great design for a well, very, very simple, but works very well. And then building the tree was incredibly interesting. I have done a lot of Lego botanicals. I like Lego trees. I'm always interested to see how they're done. This was done in a way that I had not really seen before, and I thought it was sort of weird when I was building it, but when it came together, it ended up looking really, really nice. So he used a lot of interesting building techniques to get the shape, using different snot bricks or studs not on top bricks, or studs on the side bricks, but then and hollow stud pieces, and then bar elements kind of going through multiple pieces to add some structure. And it was very, very satisfying once it came together, but I have to admit at certain times it did not know where it was going. Now we're just taking time to do something that I think is repetitive but quite fun and meditative, is to build all these little branch pieces, all these little floral elements with the Lego flower studs and the leaves, and adding those little apples as well. And then we can see kind of how the tree is completed. And now that I've finished up with the first 5 bags, I am keeping all the extra pieces in the minifigures in this Ziploc to the side, and I will now turn it over back to Adam with Sobrix from the build time. So thanks. Okay, so that's where we will stop for this video. This is the first floor of the medieval blacksmith. This is the whole forge and everything. The minifigures are good. The dog is very cute, even if it doesn't make sense. This was a ton of fun to build. Really interesting design for the tree. Really like this detail on the corners here, even if it's a little fidgety. The light brick is super well integrated. That's just excellent. So that's really, really good. Excuse me. And yeah, the whole beginning of this has been totally awesome. These stairs look great. I can't wait to see how they like curve up. Tons of detail in here. We got some like a shield on the wall, some pauldrons for some shoulder, armor. In the middle, we got an anvil, some tools over here, a helmet, kind of a pot, some different stuff over here, iron rods. We get an access to the fire or the forge or whatever from the inside and from the outside, and we have an anvil out here. This door is really, really nice. So just tons of cool stuff. Really, really awesome build so far. This has just been a pleasure. And yeah, this tree is very strange and very interesting to build. I built a lot of botanicals. I can't say I've ever built anything quite like this. I think the effect is pretty good. I think it looks pretty nice and it's pretty unique. The well is good, and everything about this is good. It's a challenging build, I would say, but it's not too bad. I don't think I had too many errors or anything, and I'm really excited to move on to the next floor here, but I will save that for another video. So if you are seeing this, you're probably on my Patreon, and thank you for that. And I will keep this whole build experience exclusively on Patreon, so I appreciate it. And eventually, when I get this set finished, I might make a video kind of reviewing the whole set, and that may or may not end up on the main YouTube channel, but we will see. I'm trying to make this somewhat special for people who are giving to the Patreon there. So really, really great build so far. Until next time, thanks. Bye.